Hi, friends. Welcome back. Come on in, pull up a chair. I'm so glad that you're here. Hello to our new friends. I'm glad you decided to join us. If we haven't met before, my name is Michelle, and this is Life Changes, where we share all the adventures that we have in life, and the Lord goes with us and directs us through each one. So I'm so glad everyone came back. Whether you're new or you've been here before, I'm really glad to see you. So today we're doing another recipe as promised. This is a movie snackish kind of thing for the month of October. Now, my family doesn't do scary movies. We don't do the adult scary Halloween movie stuff. We do the kind of cartoony, silly kitty stuff. So leave me a comment below and let me know what your family likes to do. There's no judgment here. We just choose not to. And this is why. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So we just apply this to the holiday. And we have fun. We just don't worry about the fear. We don't live in that, and that's okay. You do you. We're going to do us. So this recipe is a 3/4 ingredient recipe. There's no baking involved. So let's get started. So what you need is a block of cream cheese, about 1/4 cup of milk, some onion powder, and some salt. Now this is where if you have onion salt, this becomes 3 ingredients. If you don't do it like me, this is 4 ingredients. Easy enough to do. I bet you didn't know that. Yeah. So what you do is you're going to take this and soften it. Now you can leave it out on your counter for a little while to bring it up to room temperature. You can put it in a bowl, as I have done. And you can zap this in the microwave for 10 seconds, kind of mush it up. That's how you do it. So all I'm doing is just taking my fork. Now, if you have a mixer, you can do this in the mixer. But this is the way my mom did because she didn't have one of those big stand mixers. I guess they had them. She just didn't have one. And you know what? Yeah, this is her mixer. So what I'm doing is I just have this softened. So what I'm going to do is start adding a little bit of the milk one at a time. Not a whole lot. Just drizzle a little bit in. And we're going to mush it up. So this takes a little bit of time because it takes a little bit of time. If you put it all in there at one time, it will clump up. You can use whatever type cream cheese. I see a furry nose coming. He loves cream cheese. You can use whatever brand that you want to do because we're actually adding seasoning to this. I don't mind an off-brand. Now, if I'm just going to... Why are you messing with my plant, Storm? If I'm going to eat this just plain, like on a bagel or crackers or something like that, then I do like a name brand, but we're going to be putting seasoning in it. You don't taste the difference. So you can tell it's starting to get smoother. So here we go. A little bit more. Now, you may not use the whole 1/4 of a cup. That's okay. It's all right. You can double this and use 2 blocks of cream cheese and just keep working with it. You can do this any way you would like to do. Now, we call this at fall time on Halloween, we call it scream cheese. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you know the movie we're talking about. If you don't, I'm going to tell you. It's the Hotel Transylvania's. Remember, one of her favorite foods is scream cheese on bagels. Now, this one doesn't make funny sounds, but it's still good. Now, my family does not like bagels, so we're actually just going to use crackers, and it works fine. So, see, we're getting a little bit more pretty, so we're going to add a little bit more. Just a little bit at a time until you get the consistency that you like. Now, if you're going to use this as a dip, and this is a great dip as well, then you might want to add it a little bit more and make it a little more dippable, if I should say that. But we're going to actually be spreading this, so I don't want to make this too runny, too Yeah, 2 running. I don't want it to be too much. I want this to be able to kind of hold its own and to be able to be spreadable. See, that is spreadable. It's soft, but it is spreadable. So, this is what it looks like. So, now comes the seasoning. Now, hold the rest of your milk out. You may decide you want a little bit more because as it gets colder in the refrigerator and all these flavors blend together or marry, depending on how you want to say that, it can thicken up a little bit. So if you want to make a little bit, just a little bit, you can, but don't put too much. So what I'm going to do is add in some onion powder. Now, as I said, this is to taste, and I'm going to put a little bit of salt. This is just my salt shaker. So that's kind of what it looks like. And we're just going to give this a good mix. It's not hard. Now, if your cream cheese is hard, then it takes a little bit more effort. That's okay. This, as I said, this is a great dip for parties. This is a great dip for sandwiches, if you do sandwiches. It's very versatile. Anything that you like a spread with or a dip, this is great. Now, this comes the fun part. Now, this is where if you have kids or kids in your home or a husband in your home, you're going to take a little bit on your finger and you're going to give it a little taste. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Let's do a little bit more. Let's just have fun. It's just another sprinkle. And I am going to put a little bit more salt. Now, because I'm doing this separate and I'm not using the actual onion salt, I can control the salt. So if salt is an issue for you, this is a better way of doing it. Now, all we're going to do is just cover this up and pop it back into the refrigerator. And when it is time, you can spread this on your bagels and make actual cream cheese. Or you can put this on crackers like we're going to do. Or you can use it with. So we're going to just take it. That's it. Yep. Yeah, that's good. So that is it. And this is what it looks like. Now you can add other things to this. You could add some little bit of garlic if you like a little garlic flavor to it. You could add a little bit of hot sauce if you want to kick it up a notch. We've done that too. That's pretty good. You can do this in many, many different ways. You can add a little bit of smoke flavor if you like it. You can make this the way your family makes it. This is the way my mother made it for us when we were little. And if you're kind of wondering, I've been thinking about my mom a lot. She passed away in November of 21. So she's been on my mind lately. So if you hear me talking about my mom or my mom's recipes, that's why. So this is a fun way to remember her. And I also wanted to give you an update on what I had heard about Hurricane Helene in the upstate. Now, the latest that I have heard is that Hurricane Helene was a Category 1 hurricane when it hit the upstate. I'm not sure what it was when it hit Florida or Georgia or even the lower part of South Carolina, but when it hit upstate South Carolina, it was a Category 1. And so those winds were just whipping. They were coming from the east. We don't normally get winds from the east, but we did. And it pushed over trees. It just pushed them over. They didn't break. They didn't twist. It wasn't like an ice storm. It just pushed them over. And there were a lot of trees that fell on homes. There were a lot of trees. There were some trees that fell on bridges. There were some creeks that have actually damaged underneath the bridge. And some of these trees are still coming down, even though we're, 3 weeks away. The trees are still wobbling, some of them. Some of the bridges are actually you're starting to see where it was weakened and it was damaged. So in the upstate of South Carolina, we did not get it as bad as Western North Carolina. We're not that far, honestly. We're really not that far from there. But when it got to those higher hills and mountains, it dropped more rain where we got more of the wind. But you are starting to notice some more of the damages. As I shared, my son's house was hit, had a lot of trees down, and it clipped his garage, which is all fixed now, thank goodness. So that is the update for us. Please continue to keep everyone in our prayers. I know in our local town there were some trees that hit homes, and there's some houses have tarps over the roof where they're trying to repair. Some of them, they haven't even started yet. So I don't know what's going to happen there. So thank you for all of your prayers. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. We're going to share all kinds of adventures and fun. And sometimes we have recipes. Sometimes we play. It just depends on what's going on and how life changes. That's what this is about. And the Lord is always with us and everyone. So remember, I love you. And most importantly, He loves you. And I'll see you next time, friends. Bye-bye.